Yo, what is good, guys? I hope you all had a fantastic trading day. Everything went exactly as expected. We gapped down on SPY. That's what I was looking for. That was my preferred scenario. And yeah, we're just going to be taking a look at what's coming next. So we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, oil, the US dollar, Apple, Tesla, Biotech, Semiconductors, the VIX, and SPY. Just see where we're going to be headed. So with all that being said, we're just going to hop right into it. Make sure to share this video some love, give it a like, and subscribe. And yeah, let's get into it. So to start off, tomorrow you got PMI numbers 15 minutes after open, so a lot of people are going to be watching for those numbers. That should give you a decent move. I think that's going to give you the next decent move, and I'm looking for a bounce soon. I'm going to explain that a little bit and what I've kind of done to position myself for that. But you might go lower. We're going to do some comparisons with past price action because there's a possibility we keep dropping with no relief. So we're just going to work our way from left to right, starting with Bitcoin. I'm a little tired. I was up all night watching futures, so kind of hard for me to talk. I'm not sure why, but if I'm like slurring my words or whatever, that's why. So Bitcoin, you're touching that flag here. I was watching this during the day, and it doesn't make sense to just start free falling yet. I feel like we need to consolidate and just kind of drift a little bit before we break out of this, because with that correlation to the NASDAQ, if this thing drops, I think the market's going to follow it, or it's going to do it at the same time. So I don't think it's ready to drop yet. We'll see how it does in the next few days. Not really too much else to say. So oil, this is interesting. Oil seems to be breaking out. I actually went long on oil towards the end of the day. You got that harsh rejection off of it, and you recovered by the end of the day all the way back up. So it's breaking out. It seems so far. I would like to see it get a little farther out, just kind of like consolidate outside of this for really to just show that strength that it's breaking out. So it has all those divergences we've been watching. It seems like it's set up to go. It doesn't really need anything else. I just want to see a little more strength and kind of confidence in the bulls and oil. So we'll see how this goes. It's looking good so far. So on to the dollar. This is interesting. You are really touched in these previous highs here, and if you break that high, the markets are going to plummet. So again, with this as well, same with Bitcoin, I don't think it's time to just start flying even more like the dollar starts rocketing up here, but I think we need to pull back a little, consolidate a little if it does want to go higher. So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes higher, but I don't think it's time. The markets need to settle down a little before really just kind of going haywire, I guess. So Apple decimated today. I'm not really surprised. This is what we have been expecting. So you got a nasty move down. Same thing with Tesla. Same story, broke that support. So yeah, nothing really to say here. You broke that support. I've been talking about this for pretty much the past week. So you broke that big support, and we'll see how it does after this. That's a pretty decent gap right there. So I would not be surprised to see this come under 800. Biotech, this is what we've been playing in the Discord. We took our gains on it. This was that guaranteed money maker. We finally took our profits on that. So this is back on August. Where's the date? August. I just want to show you the date. So like August 5th, August 4th. This was guaranteed. My entry was at like 81, 82, and it went up to 84, but it was guaranteed that it would at least come to 86, and that's where it went to today. Closed just under 86, so I took my money, guaranteed profits. I would never complain about that. So made some decent money on that. I went pretty heavy because I was confident. On to SOXS. I mentioned this in yesterday's video. I said this thing's ready to break out. It's going to break out. You got these divergences, and what did you do? You broke out today. It ran like 12%. People made some pretty decent gains on this. Someone made like 7,000 on this. Bought it on like last Thursday or Friday, whatever this date is. So people made some good money on this. I took some profits. I think it could get a pullback, maybe to test this breakout line. That would be a harsh pullback, but I would like to see that happen, and I would get back in. So, but that's what it's been doing. It's been rocketing off. So VIX, you know, I told you this was going to go up. The Bollinger Bands were inside the Keltner channel. That was signaling tightening volatility, and SPY was going to break out. You know, I explicitly said this next big move is going to be to the downside, and it's going to happen very soon, maybe as soon as tomorrow. That's what I said on Thursday, and it started on Friday. And you got that continuation today, and you overshot all of my levels that I thought it would stop at. So we're going to take a look at that soon. But the VIX, you know, from what I saw on the Bollinger Bands and the Keltner channels, everything was going to break out, and I said you're going to see that volatility come back, and that's what's been happening. VIX ran like 15% today, and you seem to have reclaimed a important trend line, but you got a gap, so I'm not sure what to think of this. You know, maybe you fill it, maybe you don't, but yeah, there's something interesting. You kind of reclaimed that trend line. So on to SPY. Those puts, I took my profits on that. Let me make my thing a little smaller. So, you know, a lot of people made pretty good money on these. I think I even mentioned it in one of my previous videos. We got into these on the last Wednesday with the FOMC minutes on the peak above a little over 429, and they went crazy today, getting close to in the money almost. Yeah, a lot of people made good money on these. So yeah, it was a fun day. Really good money made. So we're just gonna get into the technicals. So what I want to start off with is I got a lot of stuff up. Give me a second to clean this stuff up. So Keltner channels. First off, I'm just gonna point out that fib circle. You know, you're getting a perfect reaction off of it. Got that transition right at that ring. It's been going perfectly. You got that gap here. I think there's a good chance you could do a fake gap fill. SPY really likes to do those, trap people in whichever direction it's going. But yeah, SPY's a tricky one sometimes. So it also has, I might as well just show you this right now. You know, I've been saying we're in this third wave to the downside, which I'll map out a little later, but here's your target. I thought you would bottom here, 1450, and you did not. You just kept falling, and that next level would be right under 412. That also lines up with the gap, so there's a lot of incentive right here, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure where this is going to bottom, so right now it's just, it doesn't hurt to wait. I still have my short position in shares, so I was up like 5 figures today on that. That felt pretty good, finally seeing some green after getting destroyed from the short squeeze. So it's been going good so far. I hedged a little bit, or not really a hedge. I do expect a bounce, so I went long towards the end of the day, right under 413, when I was testing this trend line, which I will show you in a little bit. So the fib circle, phantom bars, I want to show you these. So I did a video on this stuff. If you don't know what these are, this has to do with the institutions trading before market open, and it seems so. It's hard to say with complete certainty, but I think these phantom bars are like orders from institutions that didn't get filled during these. There are these auctions at certain times in the morning, and I think these are unfilled orders for some reason. But from my experience, price tends to revert back to these phantom bars, because I think this is where institutions are looking to get their orders filled. So from my experience, what this is saying is that institutions are looking to get their short entries at these levels. So just something to note, they don't always hit, but it's pretty consistent, you'd be surprised. So as for the phantom bars, that gap, we're going to go into the 1 day and look at some stuff that has been playing out the way I expected. So we're going to take this off, and that trend line here, this was that, I haven't showed you this trend line in a while, but this is that macro trend line here. You got over it, you actually gapped above it. Now that I'm looking a little bit, you gapped over it, and today you gapped underneath it. So very interesting. I'm not sure what to think of that. We'll see how that goes, I guess, for the next few days, but just something interesting. So the 1 day, we're going to look at the Keltner channel. So might have even been in my last video. I said you're going to be coming down to this midline in the Keltner channel. That's just how it works. It likes to revert back to that midpoint of the channel. So we got there today, and I'm also going to show you. I'm going to show you the 4-hour Keltner channel. So right now you're sitting at the bottom of it. So this could give you kind of a nice floor. There's a lot of incentive to bounce from this area, and I'll show you all of it. So I'm trying to keep this video short because I just want to keep it short. There's not too much to say, but yeah. So this is the 4-hour Keltner channel. You're sitting right at the bottom. I'm gonna make this a little smaller. So yeah, you're sitting right at the bottom. That could give you incentive to move back to the upside and do that fake gap fill. So I'm going to get rid of this thing. Back to the 1 day, we're going to take a look at the pivot points. Is it this one? Yeah. So you got rejected. Somewhat of a rough rejection at the R1, which there was some crazy resistance up here. There was absolutely no way we were getting past it. That's why I took those puts and I sold them today. So that was a really nice move to catch with those, but the 1 day pivot, the RSI. So the RSI, this is, you're sitting at 50. You almost, this number right here, the 1 day RSI is just above the bearish control zone. So this is a crazy drop, absolutely relentless. The last time you really saw a drop like that was back here, and it's been a relentless sell-off. So I do expect some relief, but you know, like back here, everyone thought it would bounce, and then it gapped down again. Everyone thought it would bounce, gap down, and then did it 3 times in a row. So who knows? I do think you need relief, which I'm going to show you a lot of reasons why, but we'll see. So I'm just going to put this up so I don't forget, but I'm looking for this trend line to get hit at some point. I'm not sure if that gets hit sooner than I would expect it to, but that's a major trend line I think is going to get hit. So the 4-hour pivot, if I did not, I didn't show you this. So interesting. Yesterday I showed you sitting at that pivot, and I did not think it would just fall through, and it did. But I also said, you know, if it overshoots my targets, the pattern is still invalid. But that was quite the drop. I was not really expecting that. But I'm not complaining. I made money off of it, so I won't complain. But the 4-hour pivot, the 1 day MACD cross. Oh yeah, so the MACD crossed on the daily. This is pretty significant. Something to note. The macro momentum is shifting. That is what this is telling me. So this is very significant. Even the histogram's going negative. That is, if you're a bull, you're going, this is bad. That's not good for you. So yeah, I mean, this was expected. I'm not sure why you would be bullish right now, especially if you're watching my videos. You should not be bullish, especially back up here. So, you know, I'll explain my bullish thesis for the short term, but for now I'm just going to get through all this other stuff I want to show you, and then just kind of explain all that stuff. So 30-minute ADX, so this is something we've been following, the 30-minute ADX. So what I'm looking at through this is the ADX is incredibly overextended. This is insane. It doesn't get up here very often, so you can see since October really, well, I guess these 3 points. So what I did here, I'm just going to show you what happens when the ADX does this and it gets to these levels. I'm going to mark this, and then we'll zoom back out. So what is this mark? It marks these extreme corrections, and what happens pretty much right after these. This is kind of a special scenario, but you can look back here. You can see, like, so here there was no volatility until this year, but you can see, you can get the idea here. After these sharp corrections, those sharp drops, sharp moves, you get these very violent, quick corrections that are correcting whatever that previous move was. So right now, that's where you're seeing the ADX is very high right now. As you can see, it doesn't usually get this high. So I think we're gonna reverse soon. I would not expect us to go to new highs, which I'm going to give you that scenario again. Uh, you're just blowing through levels here. This is the big level. I'm not sure if we'll get there right away. So I'm not really going to tell you what I'm expecting for tomorrow because I don't know. I would like to see what I would expect is a bounce, but I feel like everyone is expecting a bounce, so that might not happen. You might go lower, but I'm positioned for both sides. I went long today, right underneath 413 towards the end of the day. So I'm playing both sides for now. If we go to the upside, I'll take profits on that, continue holding that short position because it's likely we do have to go lower, maybe sub 400. And there's a lot of incentive down there too, but for now I'm just going to show you this other stuff that I've been planning to show you. So down to the 1 hour, the sequence counts. So you're coming down to a 9 count here. This would form tomorrow. At the end of 9 counts, you get reversals. Or you can get reversals. It's likely. You can see 9 count, you got your reversal. 9 count again, got your reversal. 9 count reversal. So you can see these. It doesn't always have to get to the 9 count, but you get the point. It definitely coincides with bottom and tops. So 9 count reversal. You can look for yourself. 9 count reversal, 9 count reversal. So you can see it. 9 count reversal. This is, I think, something that really kind of validates that move to the upside that should happen. So Elliott wave, that next target for Elliott wave would be lower at just under 412. I'll show you that quick. So what else do I have to show you? Liquidity test. I don't have too much else to show you. So this is your next target here. I think I actually explained this or mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but that's your next spot. I really did think we would stop here and we just kept going. So that was quite the drop today, but it's still intact. That's the thing. It's still intact. You just have an insane third wave here. So this is why it's dangerous to fight the trend of third waves. If that's the bottom, we could actually retrace all the way back up to 421. So I'm just going to show you that quick. So if this is the bottom here, we gap up tomorrow or whatever, you can come all the way back to the 50%. So yeah, maybe up there. And I think it would be more likely for it to at least get to the 0.382. It can stop at the 14.6%, but it's probability-wise, it does like to get to 38.2% of this wave before going lower, get your fifth wave, and then a gigantic correction to the upside, which I would think could fill this gap. So that's pretty far ahead. I actually showed you in my last video what could happen if we went that way, but for now, I think we just need to see what happens tomorrow. And if you're not in any positions, it does not hurt to wait. You don't always need to take a trade, especially if you've been making money on this play. Biotech, you were shorting this, oil. So there's so many opportunities out there, and it doesn't hurt to wait for those setups to come to you. Don't force those setups; they will come to you if you are just patient. So I don't have too much else to show you. I'm going to show you something with the volume profiles, kind of the supply and demand, where it's kind of needing to test liquidity. But that's what we were doing today, actually, kind of testing some liquidity down here, specifically this area at around 413. So there's some incentive to come all the way back up here. I don't think it'll happen right away, but the point is I'm looking for a bounce, but I wouldn't count on it. I think you need to get one soon. I'm just kind of keeping that possibility that you get this sort of thing, which that is rare. It's rare that this happens, but it happens, so you kind of have to leave that in mind. It's like, okay, well, that might happen again. So other than that, I don't think I have anything else to show you. Take precautions around here. I think we're going to get that bounce, and it could just be much safer to wait for that bounce to get a better entry for your short position to the downside if you're considering that. So that's where I'm going to leave this video. if you watch the whole thing through, show it some love, give it a like and subscribe, and join the Discord. That will be in the description. And we'll see you how tomorrow goes. And yeah, peace out, guys.